global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello fam, welcome back to our channel. We're looking at the Delta State security, the issue of Fulani Herdsmen, kidnapping, banditry, and the rest that has been ongoing in Delta State. Obanam has been a victim of some of these activities, nefarious activities, and it has given rise to a lot of things, including the rising up and creation of vigilante group. A month back, one of the vigilante chair was killed, during a rescue mission he attempted, for his people in one of the bushes surrounding Obanam, of which one of the Fulani Herdsmen took his life and some of his compatriots, and this has given rise to outcry by Deltans all over Delta State, indigenous of Delta State, particularly Onam, Agbo, Obanam, and the rest. But before we go into the news proper and further analysis, we do like you to subscribe to our channel if you have not already done so by clicking on the red subscribe button below. Beside it, you will see a bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as we update our channel on YouTube. Okay, God bless you as you do so. Okay, let's look at what is ongoing. As you're talking, you'll be seeing the video. Actually, on your Anioma Security Watch Network had marched to the secretary to the state governor, that's in Chinedu Ebia's office, and also to one of their House of Assemblies to see how they can give legal backing to their security organization. They have watched helplessly, according to their leader, how Fulanis have, made, Delta State unlivable for them, where their mothers cannot peacefully go to the farm and return in one piece, where their daughters cannot even visit their next villager or the next village community without being harassed, or can't even come back simply because of fear of Fulani herders coming in. So severally they have had issues and reasons to call upon the security parastatals that are security agencies that are in Delta State. So for several times they respond, but their response is not as swift as one would expect. So several times you see them say they even complained about the weaponry used by the Fulani Herdsmen. So they are quite sophisticated. They are also pleading that the Senate, that the House of Assembly should also give them legal backing, that they need a law to back them up legally, so that whatever. So they have what it takes. In fact, they're actually saying, their leader said something quite unique, that they do not even want, they're not interested in armies, they're not interested in policemen, that all they want is legal backing, that the youth in themselves are tired. They're tired of the insecurity. They're tired of the constant fear, where strangers are practically trying to chase them out of their land, and they're saying no way. They're still the youth. This is still their land. The last time they checked, the land still belongs to them, and they are not ready to give it out to, not to Fulani Herdsmen and not to any other stranger that would like to take them out of their community. And they have gone for training for 2 weeks, but now they said they've been having torchlights, as in within themselves. They contribute money to get torchlights or the security, little local security apparatus they need. But they said it can't be compared to the sophisticated ones that the Fulani herders carry, and they are pleading that they also need some sort of funding. Even if we're not going to give them money, give them the apparatus needed for them to match pace for pace the Fulanis. Don't forget that the way Fulanis actually operate is quite unique. One-on-one, you probably may not see them. They actually come in the night. It's either they're coming in the night or early hours of the morning. That issue of while men sleep, the enemies came and sought her. That's how they operate. While you sleep, that's when you see them coming in, either to burn, touch your houses, either to begin to rape, kill, as the case may be, kidnap. And sometimes when you go to the farm, they are sure you are, they're always in their clusters, but they are very sure that they have, cornered you, where you probably are the only one, or your wife is the only one, or you and your wife, where they actually outnumber you That's where they get their strength from. But one-on-one, rarely will they come for you one-on-one. And even if they will come for you one-on-one, they like to do it in the bushes. They are very comfortable in the bushes. They are familiar with the terrains of the bush. They've lived all their life in the bush. So most of the time when the fighting start, they try to lure you into the bush, where they will now have a feud reign of whatever it is they want to do. So the youth are now saying, look, we are not begging for security apparatus to come to us. We only ask for some sort of backing, financial backing, to equip us properly so they can take of Fulani Herdsmen. And it's really enough, really. Everybody complains about them. And that's the only organization I know in Nigeria where they are permitted to carry weapons without questions. I wonder what you need AK-47 to rear a cow for. But it is allowed, really. But every other person that carries any form of weapon, they will ask you for license and all that. You now ask the question, what is a little boy doing with that? Some of them are men, some of them are grown, but then they have that. See them, the way they use this thing, you have to say, wow. But then, now that they're asking for backup, I think, well, the SSG has said that the issue of security is not only for the security personnel, it's also not only for the governor alone, it's also for everyone. Okay, that they will look into it, that they are also looking at the fact that the governor also is thinking of bringing up another security network for the state while we wait for the regional security outfit that the South is still working modalities on. The last time they sat, they said they were going to bring out something, but that was the last we actually heard. Maybe they're still having underground meetings. We are yet to find out about that. But they said they're looking out to having their own security personnel after Amatakon had actually come to stay and was backed up by law. But while it is becoming, important for Delta, you can't rush other governors, because they also have their personal states internal issues. Each state governor is dealing with in their various south states. Okay, so but in this case now, Delta State is under siege by Fulani Herdsmen, so they can't really wait for those modalities to go through law before the security network is being set up. By the time they go through all those processes Amateko went through, I'm sure by now Delta State indigenes would have been divided by half, or they dealt with by Fulani Herdsmen. So he now thought about opening and establishing one security outfit, of which they codenamed Operation Delta Hawk. But it's yet to come to bear. But that's what they're looking at. And he's now saying that the governor and the SSG, that's the secretary to the state governor, that's Chinedebia, was saying that they're also looking at each individual security network within the state, so they can work in synergy, because this issue of Fulani Herdsmen has really disturbed the southern state. Not just Delta State alone. They are practically everywhere. They're in Lagos, they're in Ogun State, they're in Ondo, they're in Oyo. Oyo had to enact a law to keep them at bay, so that, look, if you move anyhow, we'll seize your cows. Okay, there are laws governing them on that part. Initially, they got angry that Oyo State is going against the constitution of the land, where there's free movement and all that. Those ones already, the governor is working in synergy with their House of Assembly. So they quickly passed it to law so that to protect their citizens very quickly, no time for rubbish. So that if you think it is unconstitutional to come to my land and kill my people, then it's also unconstitutional for you to rear cows and pass it within the street. So they made a lot of noise. They said they wanted to take the governor for Oyo State to court. That one said, bring it on. Whatever you want to do, I'm ready. They died a natural death. And Oyo State, to some extent, don't have this kind of clashes that is so common in other states of the Federation, particularly in Delta State. Anambra have their own fair share, Enugu have their own fair share. In fact, it's almost in all Federation. Fairly recently, Southern Kaduna had their own fair share. They all seem to have one or the other. So it's a general, it's now a national issue. But for Delta State, as if it has come to stay. For 9 years, these guys have been battling with the issue of Fulani Herdsmen, kidnapping and banditry. So they are saying, no more, our youth is valuable. So they have formed this in Anioma security network, that's security watch network, and they're saying that their lawmakers and their governor should back them up. All they want is apparatus to back them up, and they are ready to face the Fulani Herdsmen full blown, and they're not scared of them. They've been on training for 2 weeks, and they're ready for whatever to come, because that is their land, and they're ready to defend their land, whatever it will cost them. But that's a good one. That's a fighting spirit. That's the kind of spirit one needs to preserve their land, or else even history will forget that there were people called Deltas or Aniomas or the Agbos or the Onams who once resided in Delta State, because then it should not be a case of the Fulanis owning Delta. But that's a good one coming from the youth who have decided to protect their motherland and their ancestral land. Then the question is, will the governor indulge them? Will their lawmakers also indulge them by giving them what they're demanding for, which is weaponry to fight these bandits and Fulanis? But then the question also is, if given those weapons, won't they use it to hunt themselves during political era, where they will not have a possession of those ammunition which they can be using to terrorize their own opposition parties at when due? That's enough to think about. Let's meet in our comment section. What do you think about their demands? Let's interact. Stay tuned for more.